When it comes to this year's V-Twin Cruiser lineup, there are in fact 6 members in the Suzuki Big Bore custom family. 3 make up the beefy M or muscle lineup, while the remaining 3 hold down the C or classic cruiser side of the family tree. This Boulevard is a C, or more specifically a C109RT. That RT means it boasts a special touring package that adds a custom-designed windshield, studded leather seat with passenger backrest and matching leather saddlebags, a chrome light bar, and engine guards. At the heart of this baby is the same 109 cubic inch, 54-degree liquid-cooled, fuel-injected V-twin, found in all of Suzuki's big twin lineup. That big block torque monster also sports a couple of plugs per cylinder, along with 4 valves per cylinder. A 5-speed tranny and shaft vinyl drive helps to deliver the power, while a linked braking system oversees the stopping department. And that's a good thing, because this guy's no lightweight. Suzuki claims 900 pounds dripping wet. Add one Canadian powerlifting champion like Paul Kahnert, and you've got some serious muscle down on the Boulevard.
Well, Paul, I know this old cemetery is an appropriate place to do this interview because I know you're a sport bike rider, but you've been dying to ride a cruiser.
Well, this is the first cruiser I've tested for your show, and it's a big bike.
Yeah, well, that's one of the reasons why we thought we'd let you try it, because you're a big guy, big bike, and you look pretty good on this bike.
Well, that's what my wife said too, but one of the great things about a big bike is it does have presence. This bike does have presence on the roadway. You can own your own lane away from those four-wheeled boxes that we have to compete with.
Yeah.
And this is very competitive on the roadway, I can tell you. The motor has the biggest pistons of any gas engine. It's a 1800cc motor. When you first gave me the assignment, I was reading up on it, and it said it only had 5 gears, and I thought that was, you know, kind of strange for a cruiser, but having ridden it on the highway, first gear is low, second is medium, third, fourth, and fifth are very high. You can lope along the highway at 120 in fourth gear and not have to shift in the fifth, although you would get better gas mileage, of course.
Yeah, well, there's no question this V-twin has a lot of presence, and it's actually been tuned for, believe it or not, torque. I mean, it was a torque monster to begin with, right?
It's now even more of a torque monster. It's the M109 motor tuned to give it more low-end torque, and you could tow a house trailer with it if you had to.
Yeah. It's got a heel-toe shifter. How did you like the shifting?
I've never used a heel-toe shifter before, and I was playing around with it. It's actually quite easy to get used to, especially upshifting. And I enjoyed it very much on the highway. I did a lot of touring in my younger days on standard motorcycles, and and that's uncomfortable in the long term, but something like this would have been great on those trips across North America.
Sure. How about the brakes? You know, a big bike like this needs big brakes. Did you have enough stopping power?
Absolutely. On this bike is it's over 800 pounds with gas and oil in it, so it's a big bike. On this particular bike, you need to use your rear brake a lot more. A lot of bikes we use 70-30 or even 80-20. This bike could be 60-40. You'd be using a lot more back brake. It has a 240 rear tire. The front tire is a 150 cat squasher.
Yeah. But do you get enough feel from the brakes?
Oh, absolutely. There's good feedback from the brakes and good stopping power. And as I told you, when I picked the bike up, I had someone turn left in front of me, and I was able to stop on a dime, thankfully.
Now, Paul, V-twin motors tend to vibrate a little bit, and as a result, you end up getting vibration through your feet or the saddle, bars. Did you feel anything like that?
Well, there's no vibration through your feet or through the saddle whatsoever. There is a bit in the handlebars, but it's not annoying in any way, shape, or fashion. It actually gives you good feedback from the motor.
Right. Well, when you talk about feedback from the engine, part of that feedback comes from its sound, right? And we've got these great slash-cut pipes, but how does it sound to the rider?
Well, it sounds really great, especially when you are, revving it up, taking it through its range. It still has a whisper of a sport bike sound in it. The exhaust note is really great.
Yeah.
It gives you a bit of an adrenaline rush. And as I said, the motor is really impressive. It's impressive power. When you want to pass a transport truck, you just turn the handle and go. And at any gear, the torque is quite something.
Now this special edition of this motorcycle comes with the saddlebags and the backrest and of course this windscreen. So overall, what was the riding impression in terms of wind protection and just cruising down the road?
Well, this thing really motors down the road. You get excellent wind protection from the windscreen and from you know, the leg protectors as well. So it's very, you don't get any wind hardly at all. The bags are a little small. They could be a little bigger, but as we heard from Suzuki, there is going to be so much aftermarket stuff for this 109. It's going to be impressive, and also in all the catalog companies as well.
So Paul, we have a terrific audience right here. They're dying to hear your final impression. Who would you recommend this motorcycle to?
If you're a guy or a gal who's into cruisers and you like a powerful motor and fantastic paint and chrome, then this is the bike for you. You've got chrome and horsepower. There is no substitute.
And you can, as you say, own the road.
And you can own the road. You feel like a king riding down the road. You do. And it has a very strong presence on the roadway, and those boxes with the four wheels will stay away from you.
Awesome. Well, great job, Paul.
Well, as always, Dave, it was an honor and a pleasure.